Hello friends! Yes, Football News Channel is with you again. Give us a like, subscribe and write in the comments below which player will be able to surprise the football world in the upcoming season after a fail in the past. And while you're making guesses, we proceed to start. Let's get going! Giorgio Chiellini has updated his agreement with Juventus. It is valid until June 2026, Fabrizio Romano writes. Harry Kane did not show up for Tottenham training session after vacation. Earlier on, it was reported of Manchester City high interest in the forward. Barcelona has officially introduced Emerson Royal. The contract is valid for 5 years. For me, it's an honor to play alongside a great player like Ibra. I'm sure we could be a great pair, Football Italia quotes Olivier Giroud. Chelsea has contacted Inter twice in an attempt to buy Romelu Lukaku. However, Nerazzurri refused, The Athletic reports. Working as a coach? Football is a part of my life, but I cannot imagine myself in this role, Ronaldinho noted. PSG will be able to compete for the signing of Paul Pogba only after the club earns some money on the sale of several players. Villarreal wants to buy Zenit striker Sardar Azmoun. The Yellow Submarine is ready to pay for him from 10 to 15 million euros. Former England national team player Stuart Downing has announced his retirement. Marseille offers a contract to defender Nikola Maximovic. He left Napoli and became a free agent. Real expects to sell Martin Odegaard for 50 million euros, but there are still no offers for the player, ABC Deportes reports. Tottenham will fine Harry Kane for missing yesterday's training session. Bayern Munich, Bayern and Borussia Mönchengladbach have made bets for Thilo Kehrer from PSG, according to Footmercato. Barcelona is the favorite in fight for Saul Niguez. The player wants to move to the Blaugranas, but Antoine Griezmann is no longer featured in the deal, Diario reports. Juventus admits that the purchase of Manuel Locatelli will have to be postponed until next summer due to constant difficulties in negotiations with Sassuolo. Thomas Tuchel is not worried about the low transfer activity of Chelsea in this transfer window, The Telegraph reports. UEFA refuses to comply with the requirements of the Madrid court, which banned the application of sanctions against the clubs that founded the Super League. The organization hopes to win the case in a European court. Gareth Bale is highly motivated for his final season at Real Madrid. The Welshman wants to leave Madrid on a positive note. Newcastle has contacted Juventus to assess the possibility of transferring Aaron Ramsey. Goal notifies. Ousmane Dembele will accept a pay cut and renew his contract with Barcelona. Paul Pogba? I will not discuss the signing of a player who belongs to another club. Express quotes the words of Maurizio Pochettino. Thomas Delaney is considering leaving Borussia Dortmund in the current transfer window. There is interest in him from the Premier League teams. Manchester City officials believe they have done enough to buy Jack Grealish from Aston Villa, ESPN said. Roma drew attention to AZ midfielder towing campaigners. The source is La Gazzetta dello Sport. I came for trophies. This is what Barcelona players are used to do, Memphis Depay said. And now it's time for us to dive into the main news of the release. And here we immediately have such a turn of events. Cristiano Ronaldo changed his mind about staying in Juventus, as the project presented by Massimiliano Allegri disappointed him. According to Corriere dello Sport and Diario, the Portuguese decided to leave Turin with the belief that Real would want to sign him once again. Ronaldo is betting on good relations with Carlo Ancelotti, who should return him to Real. But if the comeback to the Merengues doesn't happen, Cristiano is ready to move to PSG in case the Parisians lose Kylian Mbappe this summer and need an urgent replacement. However, some sources believe that such an alignment is unlikely. A retransfer to Real is a more anticipated story for Ronaldo. But Los Blancos have their own scheme in terms of grand summer deals. According to the portal Defensa Central, Real is confident in the purchase of Kylian Mbappe before the transfer window closes. Moreover, Galacticos' management is already assessing the potential earnings from the sale of shirts of the stellar newcomer, and according to preliminary estimates, this figure will be a new world record. To date, the player whose last name has sold the most jerseys is Cristiano Ronaldo. In 2018, when the Portuguese left Real Madrid and moved to Juventus, the Turin club sold 500,000 jerseys with the name and number of Ronaldo in the first 24 hours, earning 54 million euros. Now Real is confident that Kylian will beat these indicators. According to the expectations and predictions of the management, after Mbappe becomes a partner of the Royal Club, lots of fans will go to the streets to buy his shirt or order it through the official online store of Real. A day with no news on Messi? Well, not today, guys. Barcelona president Joan Laporta shared the news about the club negotiations with Lionel Messi on a new contract. Let's say right away. Still, no agreement was made. We are still working on a deal. The problem has not been resolved, but everything is going as it should. Messi wants to stay in Barcelona. Journalist Fabrizio Romano quotes Laporta. The Barca president's comments remain almost unchanged, but somehow Lionel has been in free agent status for over a month now. But if everything works out for the Catalans, then the contract with Messi will not be calculated until 2023, but you won't believe it, until 2026, according to the publication of Diario and the Catalan newspaper Sport. The Barcelona captain will have his salary cut by 50%, but he is intended to tie himself with the club for another 5 years. Moreover, the 8th of August is the final date when Messi will finally sign the new agreement. Mundo Deportivo adds, everything should happen on the day of a friendly match between Barca and Juventus for the Joan Gamper Cup. Interestingly enough, over the past few months there has been talks of Lionel extending his spell at the Camp Nou until 2023, and then finishing his career at MLS. However, now there is an updated version in which Messi will be with the Blaugranas until the very end. If so, the Argentinian deserves standing ovations. Manchester United continues to follow the transfer saga around Erling Haaland, and according to Manchester Evening News, the Red Devils head coach Ole Gunnar Solskjaer is in contact with the Norwegian striker to this day, planning to invite him to Old Trafford. However, it will be very difficult to pull off the transfer. Firstly, Manchester United will be hampered by the high demands of Borussia Dortmund. And secondly, Haaland's agent is Mino Raiola. The source wrote that the Mancunians had already tried to acquire Erling in December 2019, and then the club was doing everything to exclude Raiola from the deal. United's attempt ended in a failure, and since then there have been irreconcilable consequences. Mino no longer intends to concede to Manchester in matters of the future of Haaland. This means that even in case the Reds somehow persuade Borussia, they will have to prepare a much fatter contract for the player and his agent. The scandal between Barcelona and the midfielder Alex Moriba continues. The parties have been unable to reach an agreement on extension of the contract for several months, and from now on, Joan Laporta allows the player to look for a new club. If you do not want to renew, we have other solutions. What we don't want are the players made at La Masia who don't want to renew. The club is above all. We cannot allow him to be promoted to the first team and then leave. We won't accept that with any player. If he wants to go and it's because he has other options, he can leave the club, Laporta said. Guys, have you ever wondered who was better in their prime, Ronaldinho or Messi? A video was released on our Bahamas project in which they compared two legendary Barca players. Click on the video and find out who won. It was Football News. Have a good one and see you in a bit.